What's up, everybody? How you doing? Let's see if we can get this thing working. We are streaming through the PC today with a very nice 4.5 kbps. Well, yeah, 4000 kbps upload. Let's hope we get a better stream than we did on the Mac last time, shall we? All right. Here we go. So we're going to do some game. Come on, Elgato. Well, it's coming through. Okay, so it's not coming through the Elgato stick now. It's coming through the mic through the Elgato stick. But hey, if that works, let me know. It's all a bit weird. It's all a bit weird. How you doing, Mono? How's it going, buddy? Ah, we're off to the races now, are we? All right. Adam Wolf, how you doing, my friend? Who wants to see some GameCenter integration? Oh, yeah. We're going to go through how I got this working because this was a lot of fun. I do have an issue. I can't dismiss it. We will get to that. But Kane H, my friend, how you doing? Thank you for the resubscribe. Greatly appreciate that. Hopefully you're getting all... I can see you're getting the microphone audio, which is a bit weird. The microphone's plugged into the Mac, and all of that is piped out, as you can see here, through the loopback, through the HDMI connection into the HDMI capture on the PC. But I'm getting a nice, beautiful 4000 kbps from the PC. There you go. Happy Tuesday, KNH. Happy affiliate anniversary. Yes, Coco Type. Thank you. Appreciate that. I should probably stream, right? All right, let's take a look at this. So, before we do it, I want to get into the code here. Let's talk about this a little bit. But how's everyone doing? Let's do something to celebrate. Let's do like a stream or something, yeah? So, this button here right now just brings up the Game Center. And it's nice. I love the simplicity of how the Game Center integration works. Let me know if the mic audio is loud enough. By the way, there's a little bit of a distance between me and the mic right now, but that's so I can see the other screen. I love that it shows this, right? I'm the only current player. Yay me with a high score of 2. I know. And I love that it shows how many players are on here. I have it set to recycle reset every 7 days, so we don't have like an out and out high score winner forever. Not sure what we're gonna do there yet. I may also track highest score forever. We'll see. I don't have any friends. I know. But here's what I don't like about it. And I've not looked into any customization of this. This is straight out of the box. If you go back, right, you're sort of in all of your other stuff in GameCenter. I kind of don't like that. And we'll see if we can customize that. So I want to show that. But let's go through the code. Who wants to see some code? Yeah. Mike sounds good. Can't see the game. Oh, hang on. You can't see the game screen? Really? Wonder why. That's odd. I'm just capturing the desktop. How bizarre is that? Hang on. Oh, I know what's going on here. I think the capture is not capturing. I think it's frozen. Hang on, let me take a look at that. Hang on. Mono reached a watch streak. He's on a 3-stream streak. That's not bad considering how many streams I've done. Hang on. Let's there. Okay. I've screwed around with some cables. I screwed around with some cables, but I think I got it all working again now because it looks like the audio for the mic is also going through the Elgato again. And we see it's kept. Let's see how long that lasts, right? Okay, you can see this. You can see this now. Let's make this bigger. Let's go through this again. So, yeah, when you open up the game here, automatically logs you into GameCenter. We'll get into that. This nice, beautiful red square shows you GameCenter, right? Let me get this somewhere that it's not covering up chat. There's never any issues with the capture card on my stream, right? Right? Said everybody ever. So let me go through this again. So yeah, this is super easy, right? To integrate. I have it set to recycle every 7 days, so you can't claim the top spot forever. Looking at you, Coco type. There's only one person on the board right now. That's me. But this is what I'm talking about. I've not customized. I want to see if I can get rid of this back because I get that I can see all of my Game Center activity here, but I don't know that that's what I want, right? And that's what I got to fix there. But
yes,
let's go into this now. What I want to do, I'm gonna show you the whole experience, the whole dang experience, right? Let's get rid of this game here. Let's go back. Let's uninstall it. I want to show you how this works, right?
yes.
So we'll run it here. Me? I thought we all understood that this Kids NZ was the undisputed. Well, yeah, but I was trying to give you some credit, buddy. Trying to give you some credit, you know?
Yes.
Okay, let's try this again. Oh, wow, this is just going great. What's that thing about everything's great until you stream it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when you first install, right, you're going to get the onboarding screens. I hit play. I'm going to choose a player. Now, here I have it signing me in automatically because I said, yes, go ahead and use GameCenter, right? Hope that makes sense. But what I want to do is yesterday, all I had to do was delete it. And that removes the permission as well. Nope, it's not doing it now, of course. Did it yesterday. So what happens here is, if you're installing for the first time, or you've never, you know, this is like, oh look, GameCenter. You can hit cancel, or you can say, I think it says cancel, and not sign into GameCenter, and that's fine. This game will work just fine without it, because as you'll see in the code in a little bit here, if you try to submit the score to GameCenter and you're not logged in, it just won't do anything. So no harm, no foul. Beautiful. If you choose to use GameCenter, you're in the big leagues, right? I'm only the forever and permanent Endless Hurdles champion with a high score of 1. Yeah, I'm going to ship it like this and leave it with just me, right? Sometimes I have to reset the simulator for stuff like that. Not sure why or when I install. Yeah, that's weird. Yesterday I did I uninstalled it like that and it worked fine. Oh, I got an idea. I know what we can do. Hang on. Let's just spin up another one so I can show you what that looks like in case you've never seen it. Let's do the 15 plus. Right? What can go wrong? What could possibly go wrong?
Yes.
Not Endless Hurdles. That's S-Her is my game. I'm confused. I'm already confused. Okay, here we go. So you hit play. Choose a player like you do. This is what we're looking to see. So this is not me. This is Apple stuff, right? You can either sign in, away you go, right? Or cancel. And if you cancel, game's going to run just fine, he says. Let me check. Yes, I've also made it a lot harder, by the way. It used to speed the hurdle up by 0.01 every time, but no, it's now 0.05, so it's 4 times harder because people said it was too easy. Okay, simulator. So look, I'm gonna boom there. If I was logged into GameCenter, it would automatically submit that score. I'm not, but it's happy to just not do it. If I try to, now what I will do is hide this button, because if I click this button, it's going to say, hey, you want to sign in, right? And that cancel doesn't work there. Again, we'll get into that. But I wanted you to just see this. Okay. Let's get into the code for this, right? Okay. I'm keeping an eye and make sure that the Elgato doesn't freeze up. So we'll see. Code. This is actually surprisingly easy, but I think I've complicated it by the way I wanted to do it, but I still think I'm doing it the right way. So let's go over to our app delegate. First of all, just want to show you nothing, right? You don't have to do a darn thing in there. All right. And let's get rid of that ID. Next up, game menu is the first scene in the game that loads, right? After the preload, after the onboarding, we get to here. Okay, now when we get to here, I have my own GameCenter class that I've created. We'll get into it right there. But I set one up there, right? Initiate it. Down here, in the did move, in other words, when the screen comes up on the when it loads the screen, I call a function in my class here called authenticate local player. I'll show you in a second. But that is it for right now. That is it. That is all you need in there. That authenticate local player here, right, is enough to make that Game Center pop up. Let's go over to the Game Center services. So the code that I found from Apple in their documentation of that was great, but it was all based on the idea of you're doing this in the same file, right? In other words, I'm doing this in my game menu file. I didn't want to do that, right? It's like this code. I want this code to be in its own separate class. I can call it from there, manage it, so on and so on. So that's where things get complicated. But let's go through this. So all you got to do is import GameKit, right? And then you have to add a few protocols up here, right? UI view controller. Now, interesting thing, we'll get into it a bit later, but there's a conflict that you easily overcome with SpriteKit. But UI view controller, local player, GK GameKit local player listener, and GameKit GameCenter controller delegate. This is the one giving me hassle right now. But anyway, right? So you do that. It's going to say, hey, you need to write this protocol. You want me to do it for you? Yep, go for it. Right now I'm compliant. So this authenticate local player. All I do here is, let local player equal this, right? GameKit takes care of the rest. If, right, and then there's a handler, authentication handler for the local player. And, if let view controller equals view controller, this should all be very straightforward, Swift for folks, right? Self.present view controller, right? Else if their local player is authenticated, I just got a log here. I don't even need this anymore, actually. Let's just get rid of that. Register the local player. That's it. If there's a problem, it's just logging there's a problem, right? I haven't seen that log come up yet. That is all you need to make the Game Center pop-up come up to say, do you want to log in? To log in and get authenticated. That is it. That is all you need, right? And the only other things in this file, we'll come to the others, but the only other one that matters right now is this one. Now, over here is this big red button, right? Button leaderboard, right? Up here, button leaderboard. Hey, wait, let's do this the fancy way. Button leaderboard. Oh yeah, look at me. I'm rocking and rolling, right? Now, by the way, still no frames dropped. So far, it's totally OBS and my Mac that are the problem. Anyway, when you click that button, right? Let me show you here. Here it is, this leaderboard button, right? Which I just assign to a SpriteKit node down here. And then the only other thing in here, he says, just double checking. Yeah. Touches began, right? So there's a touches began for this. When you click that button, here's what I do. I set up a leadvc equals Game Center services, and I call that function. The reason, and this is where we're going to have some fun here, I think. The reason I did it this way and I have it return this view is because this was giving me a problem. I'll get into it, right, in a minute. But basically, it returns a view of, from calling that function, we'll look at that code in a second, and then I present it on the screen to show the leaderboard, right? Let's take a look at that code. So all I do here, when I call it, it's going to return a UI view controller. And I just say let view controller equal GK Game Center view controller. This is the name of the leaderboard that I have set up in the Apple portal. Player scope I've set to global because that's what the documentation told me to do. Here's an important one. Time scope. Let me take this out and show you what you got here, right? So you've got a few, right? All time, today, weekly, and so on. The reason I'm choosing all time is because it tells me in the documentation to do that, because the leaderboard that I'm using resets itself automatically every 7 days. I'll show you this. But because it does that, I got to set this to show me, to say, go get me, show me everything for that leaderboard from all time, because all time is only going to be 7 days, right? Because it resets itself. Hope that makes sense. After that, this is the problem line here. View controller, again, I took this sample code from their documentation where they had it all in line within a view, which is what I didn't want to do. We set up the delegate back to self, and then I return the view controller. The reason that X is not working to dismiss it is I'm damn certain this delegate is not working, which actually makes sense in the context of this code. Interestingly, I can make it work. If I put all of this code in line in the game menu file, it will work as expected. But I don't want to clog it up. All of my, I may want to use this somewhere else, right? And I don't want a bloated view controller again. I mean, that just seemed wrong. So I was surprised that they sort of did it that way, but at least in their example code. For those in the chat room, any questions so far, right? So we care about this and we care about this. Those are the only two functions that make all of this work. Eagle Nort resubscribed 24 months. He's beaten all of you. Eagle Nort, thank you so much. How you doing? Question, who am I? Where am I? You are you're a slave for Mocha. And hopefully you are doing their bidding. So that answers that question. Yeah. Well. Look what the cat dragon. You do know what a cat is, right? Oh, see. Boom, straight there. But you know what? Eagle's been around for 24 months. He can get away with that kind of shit. Mono, yes, I can. Cricket is... You know how baseball is exciting? Cricket isn't. There you go. I've explained it. Can you describe test cricket and baseball to a soccer fan? Yeah. Baseball is somewhat slower than soccer. And cricket is incredibly boring. All right, next one. There you go. I can handle this. Oh, Eagle North's got this. Go for it, buddy. Go for it. Hey, if anyone's got any code questions. But hopefully this makes sense. What I'm hoping you're all getting from this is if that idiot Peter can integrate GameCenter that easily, anybody else can do it, right? I'm beginning to think you aren't even English. No, I'm a Texan. Texan, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. First time chat. Wisdoms, how you doing? Making a game in Swift. I absolutely am. This is a game in the store right now. Not this update that you're seeing here, big update here. But this is actually a game created with Swift under the hood, which is what you're seeing here, and SpriteKit, right? And we're doing some GameCenter integration here. So I'm using Swift to control everything you see here, which is SpriteKit. Hopefully that makes sense, right? So yes, on both counts, it is written with Swift code. Is how I would explain that. Hopefully that makes sense. And we're doing the GameCenter integration here. Right, that delegate that I was saying about not working is why this cancel doesn't work either. That's the bug we got to figure out today, and then I'm done with this, basically. Surprisingly enough, I know. Let's see. Eagle North says, in soccer, everyone is like, hey, give me that ball. And in baseball, they're like, I hate this damn thing, go away. Yeah, he's nailed it, yeah. And in cricket, it's so slow that they never actually do anything with the ball, so it doesn't matter, yeah. Compile Swift was English. Compile Dev is a Texan, yeah. Oh yeah, a Cockney Texan. I'm a Cockney Texan. Yeah. Compile Swift holds a cup of tea. Compile Def holds a. Well, you know, they're both lethal in their own way. Compile Def owns furniture owned by the. Yes. Well, actually, it was the founding father's cousin. Let's not forget the cousin part. So, yeah. Welcome, Wisdoms. I hope that answered your question. Please feel free to ask any and all questions. But that is what we're doing here. We got this game going on, and I'm adding some extras to it here. I'm adding the two things that are different from this release. Let me think. Right now in the store, if you go get it, you won't be able to do the Halloween run or the Christmas event because they're over. I've got everything activated here. But you can play the standard one, but I've updated the UI in this and I'm making the game harder. So this is free in the store right now, but massive update. Hopefully, if I get these bugs fixed, massive update coming exceptionally soon, along with new events this year, which I got to do and work through. So I hope that answers the question. Oh, look, I got 5, right? So let me show you that code, right? Because if I now go look, yeah, 5, right? The way I have this set up, again, in the Apple portal, I'll show you, but I got to check that there's no secrets in there. It submits a score every time you die. It submits a score. But it's only going to register the highest score, right? So if you don't get a new highest score, it won't register it. And I don't have to do anything. That just automatically happens because of the way I have it set up, right? Hope that makes sense. Let's go look at this, right? So on the game scene here, right? You're playing the game. Again, I've just got a reference set up here, GameCenter services. Let me check. I don't do anything else here. No, that's it. I just got that there. And then when the player gets hit, right, when the player dies, all I do down here is say, GameCenter services, call my function, submit high score, and it expects an integer, which is my score. That's it. That's all you got to do, right? So what does that mean? Well, over here, when we submit the high score, we've got this incoming integer. I call these built-in functions. I did not write this function. GK leaderboard, submit high score, submit score, right? The value, high score. Context is set to 0. Again, took that out of the documentation. Not 100% certain yet. Which player? Well, the authenticated local player, right? And then which leaderboard? Again, the leaderboard is quilled weekly high score. We've got excuse me, we've got our closure there. That's it. That is all you got to do. It is beautifully simple, right? Bloody good governor. Right you are, Gov. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot Compile Swift is also out there now as an alter ego, right? Thank you myself. Is christened Fred. Oh yeah, it's Fred, yeah. A good square, ain't it? Fred the Square, top notch, yeah. Turns out the Square got its moniker from some young rascal all the way from New Zealand. It did, blimey, those Kiwi kids have a knack for naming squares, don't they? Fred the Square with a touch of Kiwi flair. There you go. In case anyone's wondering what on earth we're talking about and you're not a regular and you're new here, our good friend, this guy, NZ, also streams and he's working on a game, and there's a character in the game called Fred, which is a red square. I didn't even register in my brain when I made the red square. I missed your question. What's the red square? Is that a rip-off of that cool box game? Yeah, I'm totally ripping off this guy NZ's game. I'm ripping it off by making a completely different game, but using a red square. Yep. That's it. Yeah. So that is all you need to do to submit the score. Now, Give me 1 second here, and I will get into the portal. So I'm going to do a secret thing, but I don't have a secret square. I'll be right back. Okay. Okie dokie. Right, I can show you this. There's no secrets in here. So how do you set up this leaderboard stuff? It's actually very straightforward, surprisingly. You go find your app in the portal, right? You go to GameCenter here. I got GameCenter turned on, obviously. And then you go to Services. And under here, if you don't have any, it'll say click to add a leaderboard. Guess what? Click to add a leaderboard. New compiler just dropped. Who is a robot? What? That kind of futuristic be right back screen is decades ahead of what they can do in England. Yeah, it's in color and everything. Yeah. Oh my God. So let me move this over here so you can see this. Right. So leaderboards. So you add a leaderboard. Now, when you add a leaderboard, I'm going to click on this one. First of all, let me point out type is a recurring, right? It's a default, and it's not live because it's not actually been published to the store yet. So it's only accessible essentially by me in test flight, right? It's not. That's why it says not live. But when you add one, this is what you see. Come on, open it up. Come on. Okay. There's a lot of boxes here, most of which you can ignore. So it's a recurring, that's right, and you set the pattern. We'll get into it. But if it's not a recurring, it's a, hey, leaderboard forever. Does that make sense, right? Hey, Escamina, how you doing? So what do? You give it a name that you're going to reference by in your code. You've seen that, weekly high score. There's a leaderboard ID. You also give it, I call it the same thing, weekly high score, right? The score format, in my case, is an integer. So it's an integer. Now, remember how I was saying it only ever accepts and records the highest score? It's because I've got it set to best score instead of most recent score, right? So if I did most recent score, obviously it's always going to be putting in the last one. This one is how it automatically just accepts the highest one and saves me writing a whole bunch of code. Fantastically awesome. Sort order speaks for itself. Low to high, high to low, right? Score range, which is optional. I don't need to worry about that. But if you want to, you could do like, let's say, this is a way of preventing some cheating in some ways. If you know 200 is the highest score that's ever possible to get, right? You could put 0 to 200. And so anything above 200 will be ignored. Makes sense, right? But in my case, I don't think that's going to be a problem, so I left it alone. Remember how I was saying this is a recurring leaderboard, right? Recurring. So you put a start date and time. I put this for yesterday while I'm testing. You cannot put a start date and time from the past. So when you're setting this up, for example, yesterday, I set this up at 9:27 p.m. Actually, that's funny. because I did set it up for PM. But okay, it didn't. But it has to be a time and date in the future to start. So let's say you want it to reset every Sunday at midnight. I couldn't put in last Sunday. I got to put in next Sunday, which makes it impossible for me to test it at this point. Make sense? Hope so. How long does it last? It lasts for 7 days. When does it restart? It restarts every 7 days, right? That's why you see those two numbers in the game, and that is that top panel. Now, you do have to add a language, right? So I got English on here. Let's see if it'll bring it up. You give it a name that appears on the board, right? Weekly high score. Again, score format is an integer. If you want to add a suffix or something like that, you can do that here. So I could put hurdle, right? Or hurdles, you know, 7 hurdles, whatever. You could put that there, plus an optional graphic. I just went with the icon for the app. You got to add a language. Once you've done all that, you hit save. That's it. You're done, right? Again, beautifully simple. Once you've done it once, you're like, oh, I got this, right? You can have more than one, of course, right? So you could have a weekly, a monthly, and an all-time, right? None of the surrounding messages about the Dalek voice. What? What? Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm busy trying to explain stuff. Oh, is it giving problems on the audio? Is that what's happening? See, Coco Type, if you do it in a subtle way, buddy, while I'm streaming, I'm not going to see it, right? Okay, I bet it's gone away now because I had the Elgato turned on, right? It's gone away now. There you go. Is there anything else relevant here? Well, yeah, I did remove all the ways for you to be subtle. Subtle doesn't work when you're streaming, right? Moshi Moshi Kasplat, how you doing? Best I can do is timing out mono, and you didn't notice that either. Well, the problem is if you time out mono so often, nobody notices. It's just a natural like, oh yeah, look, that again. Okay. Any questions on how you set up this leaderboard? I think you'll agree it's pretty darn straightforward, right? Try me. Oh, Kasplat, I am so sorry, but I'm glad to hear you're recovering. That is no fun whatsoever, right? Yeah. Doesn't matter if you time him out 2 years because he's already in the future. So it's really like a timeout that hasn't happened yet, right? So anyway, that's the leaderboard. Now, I'm really I've got this false sense of awesomeness now. So I'm stuck between, do I ship it with the leaderboard and add achievements after, or do I do achievements as well? But I think realistically I should ship it with the leaderboard first so that everybody can go nuts trying to beat everybody else, right? So, yeah. I have not done achievements yet. We'll look at that at some point because I'm hoping it's as simple as this. So anyway, that is how you set all this up. That's how you get all this in code. Let's get to the problem, shall we? Yeah. This is a heavily no kidding. Yeah, so here's my problem, right? In the documentation, all the code is in line, so of course it works beautifully, and I can take all this code and I can put it in the game menu file here, and it works great. Okay, there's no reason I couldn't do that, other than I just don't think it's very elegant. So I created my own class here for it. Here's where the brains in the chat room, who are a lot smarter than me, can help me out, right? You may recall,
Yes.
and I think the question, the problem is going to be obvious here. He says, hopefully. Hang on, let me switch this back.
Yes.
All right, so here's the problem, right? So there's that automatic sign in. Everything's great. Problem is when this comes up, the built-in dismiss for the X doesn't work. I am extremely confident that the reason that happens is the delegation is just not set up right, okay? Because the delegation here for view controller is set to self, which isn't going to work because it returns a view controller, right? Over here, right? But I got 2 lines of thought how to solve this, and I don't know that either of them are good. Number one, what needs to happen, that view controller needs to delegate to here is what I think needs to happen. However, can't do that, right? Because I tried it. So you know how, like I say, we've got GameCenter delegate here, but you can't do it here. Right? Because firstly, it's coming back as a view controller, but we also don't have everything set up here. But that's the problem. The delegation is not working. I tried to get clever, and it didn't work. So either I need to somehow set the delegate to the game menu here, or fix this some other way. Because like I say, if I put all this code in the game menu file, it'll work at that point because setting delegate to self is correct because it's the game menu. Does that make sense? But then I've got a whole bunch of code that I really don't need to have in my game menu. And let's see. Yeah, don't delegate it to there. Assuming you mean don't delegate it to GameCenter services. Agreed. I knew that was wrong. Well, like I say, as soon as I took it from the documentation, I was like, that ain't going to work. Where is GameCenter services? Thank you, Notify. Appreciate it, buddy. Where is GameCenter services declared? Well, interestingly, it is declared. Yep. Over here, right? Which actually is where you want it to be, because if I didn't do it here, it just created some problems. So I declared it here, right? And then the reason I did it here was because I needed to authenticate the local player here. If I originally, when I wrote this, I authenticated the local player over in GameCenter services, didn't work. Because again, it's like, wait, that's a completely different place, right? It just didn't work. So that's why the delegation in my mind has to happen to here, right? Don't delegate to the SK scene. Is the method at least getting called or not at all? Yeah, it's not getting called. This one, I don't, this is not happening, I don't believe, because it's not delegating it to there, right? Let's just test that theory real quick. Yeah, see? Because there is no delegation to it there. Does that make sense? That's that in a nutshell, I think, is the problem, actually. Because if I put like the easy answer is to put some of this stuff over in the game menu, but it just seems wrong to me to do that. There shouldn't be a label. I don't know what you mean by there shouldn't be a label. Well, for one thing, your method name is wrong. I took this out of the documentation actually. So this one. Yeah, that one. Oh, you want to do it that way? Okay. I follow you. Okay.
Ouch.
If that works, I'm not sure I understand why. So let's see. If it doesn't work, I'm no worse off. Build foul. Build foul. Game Center Services does not conform to protocol. GK Game Center controller delegate. So that caused a problem. Well, never mind. Okay. I actually thought you were going to say get rid of this, but yeah. Those dang documentation. So let me follow through something, right? Because this is not getting cool. So it makes no harm to put one over here. If I did that, problem is I still can't delegate it over here, right? Yeah, because it doesn't know what it is. Oh, you know, hang on. Here's a weird thought. In Game Center, view controller did finish, set a new VS, then called the dismiss. There's a second Game Center did finish method in your Game Center. Okay, hang on. Let's. Boy, I would think. So this does bring up an interesting line of thought, actually, Kasplat, because I was wondering if under the hood, this Game Center must probably act like a singleton, right? Because the reason I say that is I do this over here. So, and surprisingly, it's just fine with it. It's using the same instance, which is because this is the only other line. I don't have to re-authenticate or anything. I wondered if it was a singleton under the hood, and we can test that using your idea here. Did finish. Set a new. Yes, then call dismiss. So. You're literally saying like well, are you saying like, hey, let's just literally do this thing again, right? Because if it's a singleton, it won't hurt it. And then
Yes.
all right,
Yes.
let's give it a go. And then we'll take a look at Adam's thing here about there being a second one. Yeah, this was the other line of thought I was just starting to go down to was, wait, maybe I can delegate it out that way. Let's see. Okay, that doesn't work. Right. Okay. But I wondered See, so first of all, hang on, Adam Wolf's one. There's a second Game Center did finish method in your Game Center. Oh, you know, you're quite right. Xcode put that one in for me so that I was compliant with the protocols. Actually, yeah, see, look. So, am I missing the obvious here? What's the difference between these two? Actually, that one up there matches. Wait a minute. That one matches what Coco Type was saying about the underscore. Let's drop that one out. Let's just put this line in here. Right? Should be the same difference. Yes. Agreed? Although I still think the delegation is wrong. Huh? Kudos to Coco Type and Adam Wolf. See? I literally asked the father of developer Duck. That's why Coco Type is top Swifter, right? And the bang. Hey Matt, how you doing, buddy? All right, hang on. Let's test all of these. So the delegation was working, just didn't seem like it was. Is that what's going on here? Let me check the other one. There's one other place this doesn't work. Well done, Ed. See, this is why I knew everybody in the chat room would figure this out for me, because I'm an idiot and you ain't. It was calling the empty function and not yours. Absolutely correct. Yeah, that is exactly what was happening. Didn't even register in my brain because Xcode wanted to put that one in for me. I just let it do its thing. I didn't even read it. Isn't that shameful? Okay, so cancel. This was the other one that didn't work. And now it does. You know, we can as good as ship it, right? Or at least I can ship it to the beta group and you can all start competing against each other. That's awesome. I didn't do anything proudly. Yeah. Eagle Nord, I'm very proud of the way that you held back. I know that Eagle knew the answer, but he wanted everybody else to like, no, got to give them their moment to shine, right, Eagle Nord? Okay, let's make sure I didn't break anything here. So I gotta get more than 5. Even I can get more than 5. Probably. Maybe. And part of the reason I really wanted to ship this one quickly was, as you can see, I've now got the newer interface with the controls on the other levels. However, there is one more thing I want to add to this standard level before I ship it, which is, you know, in the Christmas one, there's the presents you can tap to get extra jump power. Now that I've made this game harder, you're going to need that jump power. So I do want to do something that'll fall out the sky for you to tap on this one, because you will need the extra jump power, trust me. This thing gets real fast. But I want to just check that because I did break something. When I was refactoring yesterday, I refactored over 100 lines of code and broke one of them. So I just want to check that it still works. I think, yeah, okay, so hang on, I got to get above 20 jump power here to make sure. See how quickly these things are. I don't know if it comes over on the stream, but I can tell you here, it's getting pretty tense. Especially at my age. All right, come on.
Ouch.
Okay. 32. Pretty reasonable. The jump logic should use a real physics equation. Actually, in the Godot version, it already uses velocity and gravity, so it is more realistic. I've just been lazy since day one on this game, is the truthful answer. All right, 32. 32. All right. I could. I am tempted to ship this one to the test flight so you can all start going nuts with this, right? Because it would be fun to see you all going nuts with this. Remember I was saying about setting that 7 days and how it shows up? There you go. There it is right there. All right. So that's Game Center integration. Surprisingly easy, right? Although I will come up with something better than a red square. Don't worry. But what do you think? You all want to? Can you run it again? Sure.
Yes.
You all want me to ship this to the test flight so those of you on test flight can try it?
Yep. 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 Yep.
I so badly want to activate the Halloween and Christmas events again
Yep.
because they're just so pretty. But it
Yep.
would be sort of silly at this point, I guess.
Yep.
But I don't want to do them as an in-app purchase unlock either. That doesn't feel right. But see what I'm talking about? Those presents? I got to do something like that
Yep.
on this now. By the way, just so those of you who are curious or not,
Yep.
there is a course on how to basically
Yep.
make this game using Godot. I'm actually in the
Yep.
process of recording it at the moment. I've got about 14 videos in.
Yep.
If you are interested in signing up to know when it's available to make
Yep.
exactly something like this, but with
Yep.
the Godot engine, so it's cross-platform, I'll put a link in the chat room in a second.
Yep.
All right, 22. There we go. I think the grass closest to the screen is moving wrong direction. You think so? No, there's 3 of them, and they're all moving in the right direction. It's very random speed, but they are all moving right to left because it's actually impossible for them to move left or right. The only thing that goes left or right is the UFO. Does that make sense? Do you mean wrong direction or wrong speed? Wrong speed, yes, possibly. If that's what you mean. Yeah. Could be. Yeah. I thought about refining the algorithm for it. But I'll be honest, when I wrote it, I didn't expect anybody to play it. So I didn't put serious amount of effort into it. Surprisingly, at this point, some people have played it. So I do feel compelled to go along and fix some of these things. So it probably is the speed that's making it seem like that. Yeah. All right. Okay, so before we go any further, we all know what I should do here, right? All right, before I go any further and screw something up. Good deal. Okay, yeah, that's that. Surprisingly worked well. There we go. I just got my iPhone on the desk here today because I was in a hurry to set this up. But the Windows machine is not dropped a single frame compared to the Mac. How about that? That is interesting. So the Windows machine's got the NVIDIA 3070 in it, which I believe I have it set to do the hardware rendering. So that's interesting. Okay, yeah. Let me be right back. Hold on 1 second. All right, I need, is there a leaderboard? No. Not one for GameCenter? No. Wow. Really thought there'd be one. All right. Well, list with a star. That's pretty good. Uh, ooh, trophy. Like that. Good idea, Adam. Yes. Good one, buddy. Trophy.feel. I like that. Yeah, I do like that. Let me think. Let's make this. Black. Can I add rounded corners here? Am I asking too much? Oh, I'm probably asking too much. Is there a symbol? Nope. All right. So we'll put it in as a label. Yeah. Okay. This might go badly. I may just make this a graphic file, because I got a feeling. I seem to remember someone tried this and there was a problem with SF symbols or something. It wasn't built in to the system. Anyone remember this? I feel like it was someone on this stream. Guess we're going to find out soon enough, right? There's got to be a way to give that rounded corners. I guess I'll just make it. Oh yeah, didn't think about that, did I? Give me an empty node. Color white alpha 1. Whoops, I see what I did. There we go. Oh, Peter. Oh my God. All right, it's just, there you go. Happy now. Thing is, where to put it? I gotta reorganize this interface because, again, when I did the original design, I'll be honest, I didn't expect that it would take off and do something other than a project. So I got all these buttons everywhere. And some of them will be on for some people, some of them won't for other people, and yeah. Okay, with a little bit of time, I'll come up with something better than that. I don't like the black text. It's better.
Yes.
I do love that trophy icon. Oh, see, yeah. That was the problem right there. SF symbols. So, this is what's weird to me. I'm real sure that SF symbols are part of the OS, right? Am I wrong about that? I mean, I can easily solve all of my problems here by making it a graphic, but I guess I just thought it
Yes.
was. They were built into the system. And it will let me use the font. So you know what? Let's just cut to the chase. Let's just do it. It is. Okay, so if it is, why doesn't it like it in the simulator? That's the question. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make the whole thing a graphic and make it way more interesting than this. But I'm just curious at this point. Wrong font, probably. I used SF Pro display. Well, see, look, I used SF Pro display on that one, and I used SF Pro. Hang on, Pro. Let me change that one to SF Pro display as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Read the error log. Oh, no, I don't read error logs. Oh, this one is not it. That's something else. So I'm not sure that that's actually telling me anything. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. You can use an image and set the image name to the symbol name. You can, but I'm not sure if that's how it works with SpriteKit, because it's not actually an image. It is an SK Sprite node. But doesn't matter. I guess it's a curiosity, but none of it really matters because I'm gonna make a button, make a graphic file, and get the font that I want and everything else like the rest of the interface, so it's not so weird, right? That's the plan. File. Endless Hurdles assets. Come on, iCloud, don't let me down. Still not a single dropped frame, by the way. Yeah. Okay. This is actually not the one I'm looking for, I think. Oh, there it is right there. Let's take this one. All right, I'm gonna grab me a drink. I will be right back here, folks, and we'll keep going with this. Wait, where'd my camera go? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Okay, so what was the cause of the drop frames? Echo. Oh, dang it. There we go. Thank you, Eaglenaut. The cause of the drop frames, all I know for this at this point is something to do with my Mac and OBS and or something on the Mac. Because all I've done is switch to my Windows machine and sending an HDMI signal for the Mac into the Windows machine. So the Windows machine is running OBS and it is running beautifully silky smooth. And I would venture to say it's making me even prettier. But I would be the only one saying that. So I don't know exactly know what it is. I guess what I have to do at this point, switch back to the Mac and do a stream for a little while at some point to test it and see if it continues to drop frames. Just on the off chance that it actually turns out not to be that at all and was internet provider, modem, something like that. So I've sort of got to, if I go back to the Mac, run OBS, do it, and it does it again, I know it's something there. That's the best I got on that. Yeah. Notify is getting baked. CDs, drinking. What is up with these streams tonight? What? I have no idea what you're talking about. What's he up to? Maybe I should finish here very soon. If I get this button graphic working, I will ship a build to test flight for you all to start competing against each other. Because that would just entertain me no end. And then we'll raid Notify and see what else is going on over there. So, okay, let's, Let's start by finding the text. All right, leaderboard. I really need to rebuild these buttons at some point so that they scale properly. But I'm too dang lazy. Because if I do this, oh yeah, that's ship it. Right? Ship it. Anyone remember how to do 9 scaling in actually I'm not even sure if Affinity Designer does it. It must do it, right? Can I set a 9 scale even though this is vector? I mean, I guess I could make it pixel, but I don't want to do that, really. Right? I mean, I could rasterize. And then, is there like a 9 scale here? Well, I mean, I could treat it as a, why does it need 9 scale if it's vector? Well, because, okay, so first of all, clearly, as I've mentioned before, I didn't make this graphic, right? Because at the moment, it does that. Not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. And I didn't really want to spend hours on this. But I do need it to be big enough to have the graphic. So maybe that's not so bad. He says, trying to convince everybody and himself. Right? Maybe that's not so bad. You know, maybe Um, let's put this in here. Let's convert to curves, thank you. And then please move. Thank you. Get the right thing. Oh, you know, what about if we did this? Hang on. Maybe we just go with this design anyway. If I go with this design, this actually may just make the problem go away. Problem solved. Ship it. Right? Ship it. Yeah, you see it now, right? Yeah. Okay. We're actually just... We'll go with that. I think that looks just fine. Let's find out. Ship it. Rocket ship. Selection only. Ooh, that's a lot of space around there, isn't it? I had this problem before. Yeah. Hold on. I did have this problem before. And it was something to do with a shadow. Hang on. All right, let's try file, export. No, it's not looking good. Selection. Okay, we'll do this in 2 steps because I don't need to spend any more time on this than this. Leaderboard. Actually, I think the naming convention I used. Button dash leaderboard. Yeah, don't bother saving. It's okay. It's okay. It's gonna be great. And then we'll open that with. Let's go with. Let's use. I haven't used Photoshop in a long time. Let's just use Photoshop because it's there. Tool, making hard things easy by making easy things hard. Yes, you're absolutely right. Image, trim, transparent pixels. Okay. Dang it, where's my... What was that about tools? And of course I didn't save it because I didn't think I'd need to because live. Actually, wait. You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Text. Who the hell made Bloomsbury the default? Asset Pro. Did I close? Oh, jeez. Jeez. It's a conspiracy, I tell ya. All right. Paste, thank you. Oh my God. I mean, you wouldn't think it would be that hard, right? But oh no. Gotta make things, you know. Gotta raise a little hell, right? We're gonna eyeball this so that someone can point out it's 1 pixel off. Don't know who that would be, Coco Type. There you go. Okay. Image. Trim. Trim the nasties. Thank you. File. Export as. Export as a PNG. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. With transparency. Yes. Width. We don't need it that big. 256. Good enough. By cubic auto, yeah, that'll probably be okay. Export, come on, do it, override it, commit. All right, get rid of all the things. Yeah, jeez, Xcode. Whew. Assets. Keep up here, there'll be a quiz. UI. Button, dash, leaderboard. Actually, I think, do I want to call it that? Nah, I'm going to call it button, leaderboard. There you go. Okay, game menu. Game menu. Let's get rid of those. Let's go back to this one. Let's set the texture to be, don't let me down, button, leaderboard. Set the alpha back to 1. Ship it. Oh, my word. Okay, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Find a place for it. Okay. It does seem like a good place to put it, doesn't it? Okay, we'll do that. And we'll take these two. Move those down. Father Christmas, we're going to move you down. It's a bit close. Oh, I definitely got to redesign this interface. All right, run it.
Yes.
Yeah, baby. Hello, baby. Leaderboard. Go away, leaderboard. Woohoo! I know. Actually, the Christmas event doesn't feel good down there now, does it? All right. What do you think? Is this at least good enough to give to you all to go have fun? Those of you on the test flight, which I think is probably a reasonable amount of you in the chat room at least. Let's make Santa just a smackerel smaller. There you go, Santa. Santa, baby. You'd say so? I'd say so too, so.
Yes.
All right, let's just bring these up just to Just a
Yes.
good enough. And I'm going to make the Halloween one just a little smaller. Halloween one actually gets set programmatically.
Yes.
Which is why I don't want to mess with it too much. Oh, that's so unbalanced. It bugs me something terrible. Oops. See, if the Halloween event is not active, the play button would actually be in the middle. Well, maybe I'll show you that in a second. Maybe.
Yes.
That's better. So, what do I mean by what the hell I'm talking about? I don't know. Let's set these numbers back to what they should be, which I think was 12. Can I, is there, no. I think it was 12, 15 to 12. Yeah, 12. No, that's the Halloween one. No, that's I'm right. We don't want these. Wait, I just want them to not be on the screen for now. 10, 15. Da 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 da. 10, 15. Yeah. Okay, that should get them off the screen.
Yes.
Redeem, ship directly to the App Store. I could, right? Now, the reason that they show up here for me still is because I played them during the event. So you may recall me being so unbelievably generous. I said, I know. I said, hey, if you played during one of the events, it unlocks the event forever. So I actually have to delete it.
Yes.
Because I unlocked it forever, because that's how I roll. What did I not do here? I didn't do something. Oh, oh, wait, I overrode it. Hang on, sorry. I overwrote my own thing. Go away. Go away.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. To get rid of these, I'd actually have to reset the simulator. Because, as I understand it, that's the only way to get these removed from the keychain on iOS. Seems weird to me that you can't remove things from the keychain on iOS. I just remember reading it somewhere. I hope I'm wrong, but please, if someone knows. Where is the reset? It's been a while. There, restart. Erase all content and settings. Yes. But only to the simulator. Don't do it to my iPhone. Please don't do it to my iPhone.
Yes.
All right, play. Da-da. Okay, now we're going to get the thing, right? So, you know, again, if I hit cancel, right? See what I'm talking about? But if you hit leaderboard, it'll ask you to sign in. I'm going to sign in, but I'm not going to tell you what mine is. I'm like that. You try to avoid knowing things? Hey, it's got me this far. Okay, logged in now. Leaderboard. Leaderboard. Oh, I don't think I renamed something. Hang on. I think I gotta set this back. I don't need it like that anymore. Hang on. Let's clean this up.
Yes.
Oh, I just... yeah. Wait, what? There we go. Leaderboard. Okay. Good deal. Notice, you will notice, the button is not quite centered. It is now.
Yes.
There we go. So if you don't have any of the events unlocked, this is what you see.
Whoop. 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 Ouch.
Share parent. Again, I've already got 32 previously, so, you know. Wow, this... I really, honestly, I'm not kidding. I thought this was going to take days and days and days and days and days. But, no. All right. Sweetness. How sweet is that? Before we go any further, because you know me. Added graphic for leaderboard to menu screen. There we go. Commit and push. All right. All right. I will. I'm not going to push it to test flight right now because I'm bound to get caught out on something. I'm wondering if I have to put in, you know, those description strings and so on you have to put in for various services. I wonder if I have to put one in for GameCenter and that. And I don't want to accidentally show you something on the screen that I don't want you to see. Hydrate. Thank you. Sorry, I did hydrate. You saw me do it. What cup have I got? Snoopy cup. Okay. I think this has all gone rather well. So probably next time it won't, right? This should be version 1.3.0 because I'm like that. Who is Snoopy? Snoopy's the best dog ever. Yeah. Although I don't like those new Snoopies on Apple TV. Give me the old ones. Okay. I'm surprised GameCenter is so straightforward. Adam Wolf? Me too, buddy. I thought this was going to be hell on earth. I really did. You know? That's not how you pronounce airbud. Okay. I really thought this was going to be hell, but turns out it isn't. This actually gives me pretty good vibes and pretty good inspiration for saying, you know what? I now need to add achievements. But for adding achievements, I know I got to create a bunch of graphics and things like that. But I'm thinking about stuff like, you know, you jumped 100 hurdles, 1,000 hurdles, 5,000 hurdles, and a bunch of other, I don't know, whatever things. I'm going to ship this to you all in the test flight, but I do want to add something, like I say, from the Christmas one that drops out the sky or something like that that you can tap on to collect and get jump power. Because believe me, you're going to need it. It's harder, which is what people on Reddit said they wanted. They wanted it harder. So it's like, all right, I can do that. I don't know what it is you're going to collect yet. I'll have to think of something. Yeah. But anyway, I will get that up there. So you'll probably see that drop in the next day or so in its current form. All right. Let's have a look here. Give me 1 second.
Like I had a tripod perfectly set up in my.
Oh, come on. All right, I see Notify streaming. Snoopy is the top ranked movie dog, so you know it can be true. It can't be true. Okay. Now, give me 1 second here. What did I do? All right, tripod. All right, I see Notify is streaming. Should we go raid him? Should we do that? What do you think? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for helping work through the problem. I knew that if I came to all of you, you'd help me figure out whatever this silly, stupid thing was that I was doing, and you did. So that's awesome. Thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this. Clearly, there's going to be more on this, right? Like I say, GameCenter achievements and so on. But I'm eager to get this out, but I also want to make sure I didn't screw something up, because I think that this is a feature that I don't want to say will make or break, but I'm hoping this is something that gets a few more people playing, right? Certainly, if nothing else, I just want to see all of you competing against each other in the chat room. So, you know, it's kind of self-serving entertainment, I guess, for me. We're going to raid Notify here. I think he's working on some software development. He's going to be doing some Swifty things, as you know. So we're going to start the raid here. Again, thank you, everybody. You're awesome. And clearly this is working a lot better on the PC. I'm going to stick with this setup, which means I got to run some wires for a few other things, but we're going to do this here, right? So here we go. We're going to go and raid him. So, yep. No problem. Always happy to stream when I finally get around to it. Be sure to redeem Run on Notify's stream. I will take a look when we get there, Mono. Thank you, buddy. All right, everybody. Have a great one. We'll see you in the next one. I believe Coco Type is streaming tomorrow, so we'll be doing that. But let's go ahead and do the raid here.